Alright guys, so this is the video I want to do about intuition. Uh, I want to talk about the voice of your intuition, okay? What is intuition? What or how can you strengthen it? And I just want to talk about intuition in general. Intuition is a very important and powerful thing for any person, but definitely for witches or spiritual people. It has been the most key element in my path, personally, as a witch, as a psychic, as an oracle. Intuition has been the most key element to my path, okay? I have not done much reading of books and articles and different things since I really developed my intuition and got my ability to speak with Hecate directly. I have not really needed, or I have not felt that I needed to read and learn and different things like that from other sources, okay? Nothing compares to when you are able to communicate with the source directly. And for me, that's what Hecate is for me, okay? And intuition is the primary form of communication between yourself and source, okay? Now, with that said, I just got a new book that I wanted to share with y'all. I ordered this online a few days ago and it came in today. Protection and Reversal Magic. And like, I just got it today, and I only really read books or anything now if Hecate tells me to. And the primary means by which she communicates to me is through my intuition, okay? Now let me explain the voice of intuition. Oh, I'll give y'all an update on that book once I read it. But intuition, the voice of intuition comes in many, many forms, okay? You can have, it can come to you through the form of thoughts. It could come to you through the form of feelings. It could come to you through the form of dreams. Visions that come into your mind when you're awake, okay? Images, scenes, that will just come into your mind, okay? And so there's really two main ways that intuition comes to you, and that is through the mental faculties or through your emotions, okay? Those are the two ways that it comes in. And I really do believe that intuition is the voice of God, of Source, of the Most High Creator, whatever you want to call it, in your little paradigm. perception, but it is the voice of source communicating to you directly, okay? Intuition is so very important because it helps you align with something so much greater than you. As y'all know, if you've been watching my videos, and especially my tarot reading videos, and especially my dark moon, full moon, and Sabbath videos, where I do a little bit of an astrology report with the tarot reading, and also I give a little bit of insight from what Hecate was telling me for whatever was coming up, okay? And as you know from those videos, Hecate tells me things, communicating through my voice of intuition. And when I look at the astrology, when I spread the tarot cards, it is always aligned with what she has already told me, okay? So once again, that's why when you achieve really communication with your own intuition in such a way as I have, or anyone who is really like a master of that has, you really don't need any other source, because you already are getting it from the source, okay? So you don't really need astrology, you don't really need tarot cards, you don't really need a book or an article that someone's teaching in, because you're getting your information directly from the source, and that is so important. Aleister Crowley said that, I forget the exact quote or where I read this, but he once said that achieving communication with your holy guardian angel, that's what he called it, is, or achieving communication with spirits in general, is what makes you a master, okay? And that, I totally agree with that, because once again, you're like taken beyond a certain level once you're able to communicate with your voice of intuition. Now, let me break down what intuition is, where I think it's coming from, okay? I think that it is the spirits. I think that it is Hecate. I think that it is your holy guardian angel. I think that your voice of intuition is whatever spirits that they are for you, okay? Because everyone has different spirits. Everyone has different ancestors. And everyone is communicating with something different, okay? Some of us might be communicating with the same spirits, but some of us may be communicating with different ones, okay? And what I have come to understand with my communication with Hecate is very it's just such an expansive and deep thing, okay? Because on the one hand, Hecate is the collective cosmic soul. She's the collective Holy Spirit. It's almost like a two-way street or a two-sided coin, all right? From the one hand, we have the creator, the source, reaching out to us, right? And on the other hand, we have us, the spirits of our ancestors, and other spirits reaching up to the source, okay? They become one at a certain level, in a certain way. They become into one thing, all right? I mean, this is an ancient knowledge that everything is one anyways, as above, so below, as within, so without. That means that we are all one. So when I talk about Hecate as being the cosmic soul, what you have to remember is that she is the cosmic soul, but that means that she is the collective consciousness of everything in existence. Okay? That doesn't mean that the other spirits and other human beings don't exist and aren't relevant. It just means that she is the collective consciousness of all of those beings at once. She's the cosmic soul, the spark of the divine spirit that is within all of those beings. All of those beings still exist. Okay, they still have their own consciousness as well. So, whether you're talking to ancestor spirits, whether you're talking to different gods and goddess spirits, whether you're talking to angels, whether you're talking to demons, whether you're talking to another person, all of that is relevant. And all of that means that you have attained a certain level of mastery of communicating with spirits. And whether if you're just communicating with Hecate directly, it's the same thing, okay? It's different, but it's the same. So, I hope that makes sense to y'all. And I just wanted to break that down and also talk about how important intuition is as a whole, because it really is making you a master. Now, that doesn't mean that you ever stop learning either, because the only difference between a master and a beginner is that the master knows that they'll never stop learning, and they also know that their true teacher is the source, okay, or is the spirits. So when you have someone who's like a beginner in magic, they might perceive it as, once I get to a certain level, I'll be a master and I won't have to learn anymore, okay? That's not really how it works. What happens is that there's a certain amount of guidance that you need in order to get into contact with the spirits directly. And then from there, you still continue to learn. And but it really does advance your entire spirituality beyond being a beginner. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to y'all as well. What else did I want to say in this? So really, your intuition, your intuition is your entire psychic faculties all together, okay? It's your abilities mentally, it's your emotional energies. I think that everyone has intuition, and I think that it's just more developed in some people than in others. Some people are born empathic, some people are born psychic, uh, and some people are born with both. Other people's are born with these abilities just dormant. Uh, I really tend to think that we are all born with these abilities to some degree, but as we grow older, they're either supported or not, okay? And that really affects and shapes, whether those abilities develop or not more. And that could be that they're supported from the people around you or just from within yourself. Because, like for instance, whenever I was younger, I was born empathic. Uh, I've always been able to sense energies, even before I knew what it was or what it meant. If someone had negative intentions, I could sense it, and I would just be like, that's a bad person, or I don't trust that person. And I didn't know why, as far as having any tangible reasons or psychic insights of why, but I would feel energetically, it was a feeling that there was no, like, I just don't trust that person. That person has secrets. That person is, there's something dark about them, okay? And my totem animal was an owl. Which is associated with seeing the darkness in others specifically, as well as with prophecy and some other things like that. But so I was born empathic, and as I grew older, people always, constantly, were telling me, "You're crazy." Like, they would not listen to me whenever I would express what I was feeling um, empathically about someone or about a situation or about something. They would be like, "Oh, you're crazy. You're wrong, flat out, this and that." And at the same time, though, that shit would happen. Like, whatever it was that I was sensing was a possibility. What was it? Well, actually, what am I trying to say? I would sense that something was off and wrong about a person or a situation. People would ignore me. And also, I would give warnings because I would be like, I feel this negative energy with this person or with this situation. Don't go forward with it. Don't develop that relationship because something bad's going to happen if you do. And they would ignore me or whatever. Like uh, with my mind, with my logic, I would be like, something bad is going to happen based on this feeling that I'm getting of this energy. That's what I was trying to say. So I would give them a warning or whatever. Uh, and they would ignore me. They would say I was crazy or whatever. But then, sure enough, some fucking shit would go down. And I would be like, oh, I was right. And, you know, so to me, even though people didn't support my abilities or believe in them or believe in me, I saw that shit come true every single time. And so within myself, I was like, this is real. I need to follow whatever the hell this ability is that I have, um, it's always right. So I need to follow it. Uh, so as I grew older, I trusted in that. And not always. There would be times where I would even ignore my intuitions and empathic abilities like that. And I would ignore it for one reason or another. And always it would still happen. And I'd be like, oh, I should have listened to myself. So once I got into the occult and metaphysics and witchcraft and all of that, I started to really find out what that ability was and master it more fully. And from there, like really, I just became more psychic in general rather than just having empathic abilities. I started getting psychic abilities where I would actually hear people's thoughts and different things like that. I have had several um, before I got to where I am now. Okay, I'm just talking about as things progress. I had experiences where um, people would hear my voice in their mind, and I wasn't like I would be thinking something repeatedly, very strongly that I wanted to say or that I was thinking about saying, but I just wouldn't say it for whatever reasons, and they would still somehow hear me say it, and they'd be like, they would respond to what I was thinking as if I had physically said it with my voice. And I would be like, what the fuck? Because I didn't even say that, but they're responding to me as if I said it. And then I would question them like, what are you responding to? And they're like, well, you just said this or that. And I'm like, no, I didn't, but I was thinking it. And that had happened to me a lot as my powers were growing, as far as the psychic part, telepathy, uh, and things like that. So, hold on, y'all. Y'all leave comments if you've had similar experiences or anything like that, or if you just want to share your experiences. Please leave a comment because I love reading or just hearing other people's experiences like this. If you have a YouTube channel, please make a video response or just please make a similar video about that and let me know about it because it's just very interesting to me. Okay, so I said all that to say this. Your psychic abilities, your intuition, your empathic abilities, all of it is all interconnected. And it's also all interconnected with the spirit realm and with communicating with spirits. Okay, because and it's also very connected and interconnected with communicating with the source. Okay, now you can look this up and verify it. I'm not just saying this out of nowhere, or this is not just an idea that came up to me out of nowhere. You can look up to different sources, because many sources said this, that the spirits are intermediaries between the source and the living humans. So for me, how this played out in my path is I had psychic abilities, I had empathic ability, and a very strong intuition. In 2013, on March 25th, after years of devotion to Goddess Hecate, she finally communicated with me telepathically and has stayed like that ever since. Um, from that experience onwards, I have also learned that, or how to communicate with other spirits telepathically. And I have learned because of that, that the entire time when you get intuitions, whether that is psychic insight, psychic flashes, empathic feelings, those are always coming from spirits. It's never just you alone, okay? Um, what is your role in that is if you listen to it or not, okay? That's your role. Where those energies are coming from, those psychic insights, those empathic feelings, where they're coming from, they're always coming from spirits. All that your role is are you a good student? Are you a good listener? Are you taking that energetic psychic advice that is coming to you from the spirits, okay? So what I have learned is that, or how it went for me was I became able to telepathically communicate with Goddess Hecate. From there, I started to learn. She started to teach me basically how to communicate with different spirits, and I really want to look at it like this, uh, because as this was unfolding for me, when I was first taking the first initial steps to learn how to communicate with other spirits besides Hecate, I actually asked a medium, uh, which y'all can look him up. He's very skilled. I don't know if he's going to be okay with me giving him a shout out on this video, but I'm going to. His name is Travis James Sanders. Y'all can look him up. He is a medium. And I talked to him and I was like, look, my goddess Hecate is telling me that I need to learn how to talk with other spirits besides her. And like, do you have any tips for me, or like how that really goes down, or like what is the process of that? And he told me, like, it's like a radio, okay? And communicating with the different spirits, actually communicating with the spirit realm in general, is like turning that radio on, okay? And then communicating with the different spirits is like turning the dial on the radio and really tuning in to a specific channel, okay? And that was, to me, that was like the best example ever, because as I came to find out through the process of learning how to speak with different spirits, which it started off with Hecate. Then from there, I learned how to speak with different deities first, which was Papa Legba, Oya, and I talked with Apollo, just some different deities at first. And then from there, I went on to be able to talk with humans, dead human souls, and other spirits that were never human at all, but they also weren't gods and goddesses, like angels and demons and stuff like that. Y'all are probably annoyed by how many times I gotta relight my cigarettes in these videos. I get to talking and they just go out. But to me, that was truly the best example because that's completely accurate. Because that is really how it is. It's like you're just tuning in your psychic abilities to the frequency, to the energies of a certain spirit in order to get that clear communication. So when you turn that radio on, actually, whether you have that radio on or off, those energies are there. There's an entire atmosphere of energy around us right now of radio waves and frequencies and Wi-Fi signals and phone tower signals and this and that of fucking energy fields around us that are just there. Okay? That's how it is with the spirit world. And as you turn on those abilities, they're all there. And you have to be the one that really like sets the channel that you're on, and they even call spirit communication channeling. Okay? So that was like the best example to me that was like just the right answer I needed to know at the time when I asked that question. And so how that works is your correspondence is really, as far as when it comes to communicating with other deities, setting up an altar to them, putting the objects and the things that they like on the altar, all of that contains a frequency, vibration that helps you draw that frequency vibration into you. And then from that, you can do rituals, you can do different things, invocations that get you mentally, emotionally also aligned with those frequencies. And then if you already have your telepathic abilities on, you're going to be able to communicate with that spirit when it comes there, okay? It's different when it comes to being a medium or communicating with the souls of the dead to an extent, because in some instances you'll set up an altar to like ancestors or the dead person that you're trying to communicate with, and it can work in that way. But really that's all just helping you get there, so to speak, okay? Once you really have your telepathic, medium, whatever abilities on, and you've been doing it for a while, you will get to a point to where you don't need altars and different things like that. You can literally just turn that dial in your mind and in your emotions whenever and wherever you are. And so that's how whenever I do like spiritual investigations and things like that at places that are haunted and things like that for clients, I carry my psychic abilities wherever I go, and so I'm able to sense, communicate with whatever energies are already there and stuff like that. And that's just how it works for all people who are like me. So as far as with the intuition itself, with really developing that inner voice, because it has to start like that. And as far as you controlling this ability, okay, because you can get spirit contact, whether you're controlling your own psychic abilities or not. You can get spirit contact, you can get communications back and forth between spirits and stuff like that. But as far as when it comes to you mastering this ability, it has to start with you developing a strong intuitive voice within yourself first off, okay? And then it can develop. At least that's how it worked for me, okay? This video is just based on my experience. I'm just sharing with you guys. But you just have to become you just have to become a good listener, okay? When you get intuitive insights, intuitive feelings, listen to it. And the more that you keep doing that, the stronger your intuition is going to become, the more developed it's going to become. It's just the same as any other skill, okay? The more that you practice it, the more skilled that you become at it. So, and the way that you practice intuition is by listening to it, okay? Not just by getting it. You have to listen to it. And the more that you keep doing that, the more stronger it's and the more developed it's going to become, okay? And so from there, as you keep going, as you keep progressing, as it grows stronger, um, you'll start to be able to discern more where these intuitions are coming from, rather than just what they are, what the communication is. You'll start to develop more of a sense of this intuition is coming from my goddess Hecate. This intuition is coming from my ancestors. This intuition is coming from an angel that's with me. This intuition is a communication from a demon. Okay, like you will start to understand that the whole plethora of the different things, spirits, energies, beings, currents, whatever you want to call them, channels that are communicating to you. Okay, so your intuition is like that radio in that example. All right. It's not the communications that come into you. The communications that come into you are coming from spirits, from beings. And your intuition itself is just your magical ear, okay? And so it's just how well you listen and take those communications into you and really take them seriously. Because if you take them, if you get an intuition and you listen to it, but you don't take it serious as far as the spiritual aspect of that intuition, like what does it mean as far as the big picture, not just the communication itself, but the big picture of what does it mean that I just got this psychic insight. And you really have to take that serious from that level of trying to understand your intuition itself and how it works and things like that. You have to take it that serious and really pursue it, really develop it. And as you go forward with that, you will probably become more intuitive, first of all, because you'll start to realize how spirits and different things are communicating to you almost constantly. Like where I'm at right now, at my in my path, I am communicating with spirits constantly, okay? And you could just view this as energies, but once again, however serious you take it is how developed it's going to become. If I just saw this as energies only, there really wouldn't be a developed sense of communicating back and forth with it. And so I would really miss out on that whole aspect of, getting more detail, okay? If I just kept my abilities limited and locked in to the empathic part, which once again, the empathic abilities is feeling things, feeling energies. If I kept my abilities locked into that box, I would never have developed my psychic ability of telepathically communicating with those, what I viewed as energies at first, that I've come to realize now as spirits. There's an actual dialogue that happens, and so you get much more information and things like that, okay? And actually, you develop a relationship with it rather than just an energy that you're feeling. Once you take it serious and you truly understand that it is spirit, and you truly try to build a relationship with it, communicate with it, it's just that much more detailed and that much more developed, okay? I hope this is all making sense to y'all, but I just wanted to cover that in this video. It's gone on for kind of long already, so I'm probably going to end this video, but I wanted to cover that because I thought that was very important, and I don't see a lot of videos about this on YouTube, so just wanted to share. Y'all leave comments if you have any questions. Let me know your experiences in the comments. I would love to read that. And if you have anything to add to this, leave it in the comments, please, or just make a video or something, because I think this is a very important thing. I think that in the ancient times, everyone had these abilities developed, and we were just a much more advanced species on that level. And I think that in modern times, this has really been suppressed in order to enslave the minds of people to be very limited and weak, and so thus the elite has control over us, okay? So I think that this is a very important thing that needs to reemerge in society. And so yeah, I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Blessed be.